Okay, this is the second time I'm recording this because it felt really weird. I'm gonna just switch this up the way I'm doing this a little bit. Okay, so those of you that feel a deep resonance with your intuition right now and a calling forward, connection, psychic connection, clairvoyance, ideas, feelings, thoughts that you're tapping into, they're asking you to take action on those. There's a cosmic gateway happening now, and it's time to move forward with your ideas that are coming to you intuitively. That's a very strong message there. At the same time, know that things are in as they should be. So if you're not getting those messages, that means you're not supposed to be getting those messages, but you have to be paying attention. It's asked to do what is right in all situations. So morality, integrity scale, that means that you are in alignment with your highest self and you understand what your highest self is. It means you're walking your talk and you're preaching, speaking what you preach. That's not what I was trying to say. You're walking your talk and you're doing what you say you're going to do. So obviously you guys know what that is. The other side of that is knowing that things are as they are meant to be. But there's also a lesson here, a lesson about allowing yourself. I see an integration of the divine masculine, divine feminine within, the sacred union within is kind of happening collectively. And also this building of strength in this chaos. And miracles are happening through this cosmic gateway. There is this huge shift happening, miraculous shifts happening. And with the call to action, there may be a need for you to summon your courage, which this has come up a lot too. Summon your courage and build up the strength to take steps that maybe you thought you couldn't take. And this has to do with these new gifts and these new talents. Maybe they're not new. Maybe you're just beginning to work with them a little more directly. So move forward with strength because there is a cosmic gateway and miracles at your disposal right now. So continue to move forward. Don't question yourself. This intuition, integrity are huge. There is a collective ascension happening. Obviously, we know that. It's asked that you rise above any darkness and step into your true self. So your true self is the soul self. So I had this vision the other day. I was meditating and like this, say you're looking at another person here. Okay, one person, two person. This person's looking here. You have these layers. You have the physical body. Okay. After the physical body, you have the personality. Then you have belief systems. Then you have wounds and deep-seated subconscious beliefs about themselves. Then you have the soul self. And I'm sure there's many other layers in there as well. But when you're really in alignment with this higher self, you can see through all these layers of people and get to the soul. Okay, you can see that. And that soul is the true self. It's not the physical body. It's not the personality. It's not the belief systems. It's not the wounds. It's this person that is fully connected to source. This is the spark of divine source. Okay? So the healing process, the awakening process, the ascension process is about seeing these layers and not denying them, just understanding how they work and how they were built. Because these could be like walls. They can show up as walls. So it's really about a dissolving of the limiting aspects of self to get to the true soul self, the authentic soul self that's connected to source, that's free and liberated from fear, subconscious programming, or limiting belief systems. And really understand the soul self. So they're asking you to stay devoted to that path. Stay devoted to what it is the higher self, the soul self wants. And to know that your commitment to your path, to your ascension, to any shifts, changes, healing has been noticed, and it will pay off. I know a lot of people have been going through the ringer for their entire lives, and it's time that that work actually pays off, because we are in a realignment phase with true source energy, and we can actually step into the love-based reality now. So stay on that path. Don't shift or distort or change anything. Continue doing what you're doing. The path is going to open up. There's an increasing of awareness, and this is on the internal planes. Many of you guys are like getting these intuitive hits, and it's really asked that you pay attention and listen to that. So stay focused on your path back to your soul self, because that's where all this stuff will really begin coming in. There is healing and activations on the heart fields, higher heart fields. This is the transformational crucible for all means of manifestation. This is where the manifestations come through. They're created in the higher realms, these ideas, these feelings, and then once you feel it in the heart space, it can actually come down into the lower realities and be manifested. So there is actual light activations happening within the heart field. So these are codes that are written in your energy, in your DNA, in your genetic makeup, to be activated at certain times. This is predestined, okay? As this happens, there's deep healing. So the activations can actually trigger some karmic wounds and issues that will need to be cleared before the activation can fully take place. So there is healing around that as well. Stay focused on what it is that you want. So Artemis, also known as Diana, is helping you to, it's like shooting an arrow. So this is the analogy, shooting an arrow. So you have the arrow and you have the bow and you pull it back and you know what you're aiming at, okay? And this is like intentions, manifestation. How is this gonna work? Once you pull it back and you let go of the bow, hands off. And obviously a manifestation isn't gonna happen that fast, but that's how you manifest, that's how you create. So you're pulling in through the heart field, grounding this stuff, and focusing on what you want, let go, and then you let go. You have to let go, otherwise the arrow will never get there. Okay, you have to allow the universe to help the arrow get to where you wanna go. Know that you're protected, and trust. So trust is huge in the manifestation process. This is coming up a lot right now, this manifestation. So let's keep going on that. There's more to learn around your healing. There is, some of you guys may need to take some classes, and or you should be teaching classes about healing. You should be teaching other people how to heal. So we'll get a little more info on that. This is a gift. So whoever is resonating with that message, it's time to share your gifts. It's time to acknowledge who and what you are, and to share this information, to share this knowledge and wisdom. Now, all of us here are equal. All of us are equal. We have the same capacity, the same potential, but we're all totally unique, okay? There's certain things that, anything that you do as an individual, individuated consciousness, is going to be completely different than anyone else. You could all be doing Reiki, taught from the same person, studied the same amount of time, but the Reiki healing will be different because your energy imprints are different, okay? So that needs to be honed, accepted, and worked with to help build confidence, to know that your imprint and your energy is authentic to you. No one else will ever be able to mimic that, to steal that, to copy that. It's yours, always. And even if you teach other people, which this might be what this is asking of you, it's still going to be yours, and everyone else will have their own energetic imprint. This goes along with artwork, design, anything you're doing. you're basically imprinting the environment around you. So this should bring you a lot of inspiration, because you have this freedom to express yourself, and that's where your power comes from. So there's an awakening presence to these gifts, to these natural talents, and through the awakening process to these gifts and talents, there is an alchemical process. So the cellular structure of your body actually starts transmuting, as well as the energetic environment, as you shift and change your perspective and your awareness on these gifts, okay? Through the process of the alchemy and transmuting your energy into this higher state where you can access these gifts in this awakening process, there's the karma releasing, and this is releasing, forgiving the past, forgiving yourself, forgiving others fully. Just wipe the slate clean. It's done, it's over with. We are transmuting, we are shifting into a new reality. And to do that, these old realities need to go. They need to go. All the fear, all the anger, hatred, aggression, it's gone, okay? We're stepping into a new reality. What's happened in the past is in the past. It needs to stay there. Don't pull it with you. You can't. You're not going to be able to. Release it. And then step into that space of hope and acceptance. Okay, so the lesson here for maybe just a few of you is about your worth. So many of you may be releasing these karmic patterns attached to low self-worth, attached to low self-esteem, not knowing your worth. And that's why these gifts were coming through, understanding that your divine potential is yours and yours alone. No one ever in the past, present, or future will have to offer the world what you do right now. Never, ever, ever. It's impossible. So we have this oneness consciousness. Yes, we're all connected through that, but individually, you have so much power because you are the only person that is you on the planet with your specific energetic imprint. So it's really important to understand that, and stepping into that and understanding that and building off that, releasing the karma, releasing any negativity, forgiving yourself, and understanding your divine worth, self-love. Okay, so that is being released from the collective right now. There is a new beginning with once this karma is fully released, there is a new beginning, okay? The new beginning can bring up some sadness, so letting go of past relationships, past careers, whatever you're letting go of. Sometimes it's hard, even if it's painful, it's hard to let go of it. And this has come up quite a bit recently in a lot of my sessions, is this addiction to negative emotions. And there can be a literal chemical addiction to a negative belief or a negative thought. Those need to be cleared. And letting that go, it can be painful. It's like grieving. You're addicted to something that makes you feel terrible, but that terrible feeling actually makes you feel good because you're comfortable with it. So they're saying, let that go. Let that go, and allow yourself to have that ending so you can have this new beginning. Then there's also some communication coming in through this new beginning. There's a need to speak up. I'm not sure what this is talking about. This doesn't go in alignment with what it was talking about, okay? So this ending that is happening could have to do with a shift in career possibly, or it could be a relationship, but what you're stepping out of kind of a beginner's mind, child's mind, and you're moving into a more masterful phase, okay, as a teacher. And again, this is general, so this could be different for everyone, and this is a collective reading as well. So we're looking at the collective consciousness, so please apply it as necessary. On a collective level, there could be a lot of information coming to people that are going to trigger lessons in learning on the collective level. Now, if this is an individual level, we're talking about you needing to speak up, to speak your truth, because other people need to learn from you, and or other people giving you information to learn from, okay? And this creating some sort of shift or change or transformation that will help you move into this next phase. The next phase is about living with love, living in that loving space, living as love as the foundation of life and not fear, because the distorted earth matrix is actually based on fear. That's why it's distorted. That's not real. Real source energy comes from love. That's what it is. It's universal love. The best description of it anyways. The distorted earth matrix foundation is fear. That's the shift we're making. You can think of it 3D, 5D, you can think of it however you want, but it's a fear-based reality or love-based reality. Once we're in a love-based reality, we're all connected to source energy. The parasitic stuff kind of stops happening. People are in flow and open and trusting and loving, and we are at one with the universe and the earth and the animals and each other. It's a different story, and that's what we are meant to experience. So the sphere one is crumbling. We're moving into this love-based reality, okay? Through this space, manifestation is going to be a lot smoother, a lot clearer, a lot less distorted, because we're not going to be trying to manifest into the old fear-based reality. We'll be manifesting from the love-based reality into the love-based reality, if that makes sense. Some people, light workers, starseeds, could have been trying to manifest a love-based reality and a fear-based reality. It doesn't work. And some of those same entities or people could be manifesting from a fear-based reality, but you can actually work with that energy when you're a love-based being. So that's shifting. That was a little confusing, so I hope that made sense to some of you guys. There could be some endings for some of you guys with relationship, and or there's just a phase that's ending. And through this ending, and whatever, it could just be an entire relationship that's ending, or it could be just a shift in the relationship. Know that it is helping you to rediscover an aspect of yourself. And there will be harmony and healing from this shift, this transformation that happens. So remember to take things one step at a time, moving forward. There's a lesson to be learned here, and remember that you're on a very specific path right now, and try to stay in the flow. Transcend any limiting thoughts or beliefs, any darkness, and allow yourself to learn what you need to learn and move through this phase without resistance, because the resistance is what creates the issues. If you just open and allow and trust, then you're going to be moving with the flow of the higher frequency energies. So those of you that just resonated with the relationship stuff, you already know what I'm talking about. I don't need to explain anymore. They're saying you know what you need to know. And just trust yourself with that, okay? There is some fear coming in here that needs to be dealt with, and part of the lesson is in facing this fear. So you can have a fear until you confront it and you realize that you're safe after overcoming it. And that's how the fear is released. And this also has to do with forgiveness. And possibly father healing. So some sort of father issues that could be coming up. Authority, possibly, and fears around authorities. Whoever that's for, I'm not exactly sure. That seems very specific. Okay. If for some reason you are not sure about the relationship stuff and that resonated, but you're still kind of like, I don't know, sit in meditation, do some prayer work, do some writing stuff to work through this, this ending, this transformation that you need to work through. And if there's any sort of conflict, it's asking you to just choose peace. Don't allow yourself to engage in any sort of conflicted, divisive energy right now. There's a need to trust, to know that you're being guided and supported, to know you're safe, to surrender any concerns and just go with the flow. The collective is actually expanding, and there's in the soul expansions, collective soul expansion into infinite abundance, source-based abundance, which is infinite. Okay, and this will be this will be communicated somehow. Yeah, intervention and purpose. There's going to be I do feel this financial reset. I've been getting this message I've been paying attention to this for years now, but about a year ago I was getting in the spring, and a lot of shifts happened in the spring, and now we're coming into a more concrete shifts and changes, and this has been coming through spiritually. So truth being revealed around the abundance, intervention, and purpose. And that is because we're able to tap into that because collectively we have expanded enough to be able to utilize a broader financial system that is beneficial to everyone, and we don't have so much greed and issues around that. A lot of you guys are working through some ancestral patterns, and this has to do with speaking your truth. So there was the persecution in the past for speaking your truth, okay? This is not only on a personal level, past life issue, but it's also ancestral. So a lot of people are reincarnated through the same ancestral lines, and these patterns or wounds will be repeated through the ancestral lines until they are healed. And it has to do with, some of you right now, it has to do with really speaking your truth. So they're asking you to let go of the fear of persecution, to stand strong and focus on your purpose. So this isn't just speaking your truth. This is like at the very beginning. Where are you going? What are you creating? Continue working towards that. Stay devoted to that path, because as you do that, you're actually clearing these ancestral patterns. You're rewriting your genetic makeup by doing that. So there's a need to really have faith in humanity, that as we are moving through these shifts and changes and this chaos, that we have faith in our ability to move beyond the drama and to cultivate our own life force from the shifts and changes that are happening. It's asking you to really express your true passions and your purpose moving forward, and yeah. Look at the big picture. look at the big picture as you're moving forward into these new passions, because the way you know your passion and your purpose is you reignite the life force within you. It's reignited or ignited if it's never been ignited. And by having faith in the future of humanity, instead of being in this place where, oh my gosh, are we gonna survive or not survive? Because I know a lot of people feel like that. I personally am relieved that this is happening, because I've been like, the world is crumbling as we're ascending, and it hadn't reached this point yet where the crumbling was here and the ascension was here, but we're here now, okay? We already reached that point, so we're here. And I'm relieved so many people are waking up to truth. And it's like, I feel like I'm not alone. I'm living outside of the matrix, outside of the box for so long that it's been really hard to really even function in the world, because my perception and belief systems were so different than the majority of people. So the way you really tap into your soul truth is by tapping into your own passion. And you'll know the truth of that passion because it will ignite the life force, okay? And so they're saying you need to have faith so that you can tap into that, so you can trust that where you're going is going to be better than where you've been, okay? Does that make sense? So look at the big picture. Know we are, as a collective, are being helped. And the very last two cards are about grounding your sacred vision on earth, okay? This has come up the last, all this year. Build the new earth. Build it. Lay foundations. Stabilize it. Stay focused on that. Continue moving towards that. That's what we're working towards. And if you're not sure what it is, that's okay. Just stay devoted to your spiritual path, and the triggers, or not the triggers, the downloads, the understanding, the path, the signs, the symbols, they'll come to you when they need to. There's no rush here. You don't have to have this whole thing built already. That's not what they're talking about. It's like energetic. Stay focused on the vision of the future. Where are you moving? Let go of the past. Where are you moving? And actually, let's see if there's anything else here before. I think that's a pretty good reading. I don't know that we need to go into any more, but I really like these cards. I brought them, so I want to pull one fast. Okay. Oh, well, a bunch came out. Let's see what they say. Okay, so there's a lot of activity at night. So I would get a dream journal. Start writing down your dreams and really connecting with the dream space, as well as multidimensional travel. The energy at night's totally different because everyone's sleeping. So there's this creative energy, this expansion, and a lot of people are going through this ascension process, and most of the work is done when they're sleeping. So the energy at night's crazy good to be doing this work. No, if you feel yourself kind of out of sorts, getting sucked into the old stuff, shift your perspective to the highest level and see things from a new perspective, and understand that nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. We live in an infinite, eternal, magical world where literally nothing's impossible, okay? So it doesn't matter how bad things are, they can shift within a second, 2 seconds, a day, a week, okay, an hour. It's never too big or too expansive or too crazy to actually happen. But it is about you shifting your perspectives, getting into that heart space, allowing your feelings, your emotions to move you, your passions to move you forward, okay, with trust, with faith, with belief in yourself. Going through an attunement, shifting energies. Yeah. Okay, so a lot of you guys are going through this, the shift, the transformation, alchemy, alchemical transformation. these attunements, these light activations, etc. Know that you have time. Okay, so there's a lot of information about grounding, laying foundations, moving forward. There's no rush here. They're saying there's no rush. Everything in its own time. You know, rest, relax, just focus on these higher frequency feelings and emotions. Don't suppress how you feel. Don't suppress anger or anything like that. Process this, witness it, honor it. But the main thing is staying focused on the path in front of you with faith in where humanity is going. Know that you have time. Everything will happen in divine timing. Yeah. And if you feel like you're overwhelmed, just take some time to meditate, to listen to silence, to be in silence. And again, this message of sacred union within, coming back into wholeness within, understanding who and what you are. Okay. So, word of advice for people right now. What do they need to know? A lot of information just came through. So let's see what the main overriding guidance is here. Synchronicity, divine intelligence, cause and effect. So know that, pay attention to synchronicity. Know that you're being guided by divine intelligence when you're in the flow, in alignment. It's good to be generous with your time and energy and money right now, knowing that there is this reciprocal energy. Also, focus on being receptive so you can accept the miracles that come to you when they come to you. Stay balanced with your emotions, mind, body, heart, and soul, and know that the power of the divine is in charge right now, okay? As much as you want to control and manipulate everything, there is a greater hand, a greater force working, and we're all connected to that. So in some ways, we are all doing that through our thoughts and emotions, but then there's still an even greater force that knows more than any of us could know individually. Okay, and the last one there, the relationship came up again, some sort of sacred union, pay attention to communication, and there's a transformation happening there. Could be an ending, it could be a new beginning, or it could be an ending of an old way of perceiving things. There's angelic help, a need to establish boundaries, but no, everything's in divine order. If you have any questions or need clarity, to sit in meditation, pray, ask for signs and symbols. Okay, I actually want to get a little more into this relationship because that came up quite a bit. So just what is the guidance with this relationship? It's internal union, the divine union within, sacred feminine, sacred masculine, as well as people connecting to the twin flame soulmate energy as well. So let's just see what's the guidance there. Stay in compassion, kindness, and consideration. Know that there is a creative force working, and stay balanced. Again, we have balance, power of the divine. Somebody out there is being guided to not do anything. Just non-action, stay balanced, hand things over to divine. So that's a very specific message for somebody. Some sort of communication with this other person could be self-sabotage. So be patient and still. I don't know who that's for. That's very specific. I mean, it could be for many of you. I don't know. And stay in integrity with finances.